Hey everybody, Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. We have a few things to talk about. We have the travel rule, universal solution technology, trust. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Russia and their antics. ConocoPhillips. I always mispronounce that name. Don't know why. Charlie Munger. Just what he says is just funny. UAE making moves with crypto, and the FBI. Sound interesting? So let's start off with a group of US based exchanges: Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, and Circle, Fidelity Digital Assets. Um, they've formed a coalition called the Travel Rule Universal Solution Technology, and it is in direct response to the Financial Action Task Force, um, and what they actually have to do to actually be compliant with anti-money laundering rules and regulations, as well as anti-terrorist or AML and ATF uh, policies and regulations. And what that means is that they will have to, for certain transactions, most likely transactions over $1,000, they will have to attach to the transaction sender information as well as receiver information. It's a great idea, but I think in the long run, I think it's going to wind up chasing a lot of people toward Uniswap and other dexes. And the reason why is because really, I'm already paying money on my tax. I'm already paying taxes on my money. Nobody's afraid of paying taxes, but why should you know who I'm sending it to? Why do you have to know what that transaction is? That's like saying if I send my son $1,000, you need to know that I gave my son $1,000. Um, it's a little over the top. I understand that you want to try to capture you want to stop anti-money laundering and anti-theft, but I think that's something that has to be thought through a little bit more. I'm going to dig into the paperwork on that one because yeah, just want to understand. I think you're also going to have a lot more peer-to-peer transactions that are going to transpire because of that. Um, there are countries I think like Singapore, India, where they've seen jumps in peer-to-peer transactions, even though there's been crackdowns, by the government. So I think there are things that are going to transpire with the virtual asset service providers like Coinbase and the others. In that doing something like that is gonna be different. There are a couple of other exchanges that have opted to go another route. I have to look into those as well to see what that other route is. Is it safe enough? Does it still guard against AML and ATF, um, but still protecting the transaction itself? It kind of feeds into something that I was going to mention later on, the FBI. Supposedly, FBI is looking to create a cryptocurrency task force, and this cryptocurrency task force um, would be focused on snatching cryptocurrency assets. Obviously, if something was done illegally, training, as well as what was the other one? So seizures, training, and blockchain analysis. Obviously, to see if there are any anomalies that happen. Usually, anomalies are bad things. So you catch that, you report that, you act on that. But it kind of piggybacks something that's been talked about for a while, where um, apparently the Biden administration or President Biden is considering an executive order to bring some regulation to the cryptocurrency space. I actually think that would be a good thing. The reason why is because it would force the hand of Congress to actually act on things. Listen, we've got to have some kind of regulation around cryptocurrency, and that would actually give everybody solid ground in which to operate. We would like, or at least for me, I would like something that's fair, that's comparable to what they do with stocks. Excuse me. If you think about it as as security, I mean, I don't think it's security. I think it's closer to fiat than security, but still, you'd be able to say things. Well, if you make a transaction, hold it for X amount of time. It gets taxed like this or it gets taxed like that. But let us know what it is. Let's actually have a fruitful conversation about what it should be. But you don't just have people that are investing. in crypto technology. You have people that are using crypto technology to make purchases and do other things. So as it moves closer to being currency, that's kind of what we want to pay attention to. So for me, I would like to see something where um, we can actually see some kind of movement in that regulatory space. Um, with regard to ConocoPhillips, um, they're doing something really, really interesting. So what they're saying is, let me see if I can turn that off. What they're doing is they're saying that um, they're going to sell. Normally, when you do drilling, you have to have this process called flaring, and that's when you have excess gases build up, and you burn them off by flaring it up into the sky, right? Bad for the environment. It's just bad all the way around. Not so efficient. So I think they found a way. They're piloting a program right now where they found their way to capture those gases and sell it as fuel to a third party Bitcoin miner. So imagine we're capturing fuel that would otherwise be wasted, turning that into a revenue stream because we're selling it to this Bitcoin miner, and the Bitcoin miner is then using it to mine crypto, thusly making their process more efficient and more climate friendly. Um, Now, this is going to be crazy, but wouldn't it be even more crazy if this Bitcoin miner got the new Intel chips that are supposed to be like crazy fast, supposedly 100 times faster? I would never believe that. But let's suppose that it's, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times faster, right? Makes everything more efficient, makes everything less bombarding on the environment. Take those chips, give it to this Bitcoin miner. They're using fuel and technology that comes from a place that otherwise would have been wasted. Wow, that would be a huge win. So Norman Wu, that would be something that I'd be interested in doing. One of my other friends um, is a part owner overseas in a landfill situation where they were going to take and create energy from the garbage that's in the landfill and use that to create Bitcoin mining operations. I don't know where he is with that. Maybe I should call him up and find out. I mean, he lives around the corner. Um, so that would be interesting to find out. But those are very interesting things that can happen. So it'd be interesting to see. Like I said, it's in the Bakken area, so they're just running a pilot program. But if that was to work out, that could actually be really, really cool and really help out, companies, Bitcoin mining companies or just mining companies in general, cryptocurrency mining companies. So I'm looking forward to learn more about that, to hear what their results are with regard to that, because I think that's just awesome. Charlie Munger basically said cryptocurrencies are like a venereal disease, and it cracked me up. It just cracked me up. And the reason why is because Berkshire Hathaway um, sold some of their credit card stock, liquidated credit card stock, to buy into a Brazilian bank called Nubank, and Nubank is crypto friendly. So you talk like this about cryptocurrencies, but then you make an investment indirectly into Bitcoin. Okay, okay, fine. Maybe you made that investment knowing that we're not happy with you being involved with cryptocurrencies, but you know what? We like what you guys are doing because Berkshire Hathaway does really long-term purchases. So I don't know. Um, Also, I was speaking with one of my friends about this, and we had a deep conversation about wealthy people telling poor people how to become wealthy, and this kind of, for him, this kind of fell into that space where I don't know that I want to pay attention to somebody who's wealthy telling me that crypto is bad. Meanwhile, they're making a move like that into crypto, even if indirectly, so that they can make money. I don't know. So yeah, I kind of annoyed me too. Um, UAE is looking to become a not a safe haven, but a very crypto friendly state. Very crypto friendly. So they're looking to give virtual asset service providers, or VASPs, licenses. That would mean that they are recognizing officially what they do, and they would also be looking at these cryptocurrencies and what they do. So that would take them a long way. Now, look at how much money is tied up in the UAE, and you kind of say, wow, imagine if that kind of money got involved in crypto. Some of that money has got to be in crypto already for them to be making this kind of a move. So that I find to be very, very interesting, because technically UAE is considered a developing country, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm going, developing country. I think they're a little bit more than that, but that's just me. But that to me is also interesting. Again, you're talking about the speed at which cryptocurrency is being adopted around the world on one side, and on the other side, I mean, because Belarus is another country that's looking to really get into crypto. Um, but you're also looking on the other side where, countries are taking drastic moves to say no to cryptocurrency. Again, I still point to the idea of, well, here's the euro, and mind you, I'm dumb. So here's the euro, and that's a currency that was put together by a group of countries. See where this is going? So, I would like to understand, for each state that's out there, why are you pushing back so hard on crypto when you could be taxing it or otherwise making money off of cryptocurrency, and giving your people things probably that they want? On the other hand, looking at all these other countries that are embracing crypto and sitting there and saying, wow, they're really looking toward the future, because it's cryptocurrency is not going to go away. And forget about cryptocurrency. We're talking about the actual technologies behind cryptocurrency. So the technologies behind it have such utility that you sit there and you just kind of go, wow, what the heck? So just interesting to watch that play out. And, I was speaking with my friend Elliot, and we were speaking about, he's like a brother of mine. Um, we're speaking about the maturity of crypto, right? And I said, or he said, crypto is not mature enough for me to take my life savings and put it into crypto. And I said, no. I said, but would you take a piece of it, a piece of your portfolio, and put it into crypto? He said, yes. I said, so doesn't that mean it is actually mature? And he sat there and he's kind of like, not really. It's not like I can go to a store and use crypto to buy something. I said, in some stores, right? There are stores around the country, around the United States, and around the world, where you can actually walk in the door and buy something. But speaking, since we're both in the United States, he's speaking in the United States. I can't walk into an Aldi or a Kroger or a Wegmans or whatever and buy things with crypto yet. But I can walk into Home Depot and buy some tools and pay for it with crypto. So imagine that. So there are places that are opening up. Now, step further. Block, which used to be Square, is in a lot of restaurants, a lot of hospitality spaces. So when they introduce crypto, they're already a leg up. They can actually say to those companies, "Hey, would you like to, you know, accept payment in crypto?" Some will say yes, some will say no. But wow, they've got huge groundwork. They have a huge ecosystem that they'd be able to tap into to kind of change things. And in a heartbeat, you can now go buy dinner using crypto. No cash, just crypto. Bink. Crypto you're already holding. So like I told you before, I have crypto that I'm holding, and I have crypto that I'm willing to use, right? Well, this is an opportunity for that to happen. I mean, right now, my son's store, Milk and Cookies, has yeah, that's the name of the store, Milk and Cookies. He has a store, and he's got, block devices in there. You could walk in the store, when crypto comes out, he's probably going to be one of those people that's going to say yes, because he already owns crypto. So imagine walking in there and saying, "Oh, I want a dozen cookies," and boop, there you are with crypto. That's going to be freaking awesome, because that means more money goes into that small business's pocket rather than X percentage going into some credit card company's pocket. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. So things to consider as it starts to mature around the world. Um, Back to the United States, I'm really hoping that regulation comes in the United States that is workable. Because what I fear is that the wrong regulation can happen and chase out innovation. So looking at Block again, Jack Dorsey wants to take Block and he wants to make it so that you can on ramp fiat, meaning take money, US dollar, and flip it into crypto in a decentralized fashion. Wow, is that going to happen in the United States? I still have huge doubts that that's going to happen in the United States. But if it did, that would really increase the use of crypto in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Right now, you've got uh, ATM machines, Bitcoin ATMs. They're really not ATMs. Really, what it is, you take a little bit of cash, you put it in the machine, scan a code, and it takes that cash, less a fee, and flips it into the cryptocurrency of your choice, that it offers, right? And it puts it into a wallet. The new trust initiative that I was talking about earlier with Coinbase and the rest of them, and they're looking to grow that membership, but it would make it so that, like I said, over $1,000 transaction, you might have to show a government ID, you might have to punch in a mobile number or something so they can verify the transaction, basically be able to tie the transaction to whoever it is. Okay, fine. But it's no different than when you send somebody money via Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, one of those kind of deals, right? You're still telling them who's receiving who's receiving the money, and where the money is coming from. Um, People that are into privacy are saying, why do you need to know that with regard to this? So it's going to be interesting to see that play out. But the point is that you're beginning to see major groundwork toward legalizing crypto. And one of the things that I have hopes for is that we'll stop having, this whole state by state kind of setup that's going on. Because like I said, I live in New York. I can't buy certain coins. I can't even use certain exchanges for transactions. That's not cool. That's because New York has its rules, New Jersey has its rules, Colorado has its rules, Ohio, everybody has their own rules. It would be nice to have a set of rules across the nation, all done. Done and dusted. Do my crypto thing, have fun, pay my taxes, move on, everybody's happy. I mean, you would think that if I'm making that kind of money in crypto and I'm paying taxes, I've made money, the government makes money, then all done. But don't hit my crypto again, right? As a matter of fact, you'd be able to say, well, you can actually see on the blockchain this crypto went here and already paid taxes on this block of crypto. Imagine, wouldn't that be great? Because now you can't tax that block of crypto again. You're all done. So for as long as I'm holding it, all done. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's my crypto, it's my money. Then you just have to say, well, this is me and these are all my wallets, so that you know that I'm just maneuvering money around my own accounts. Don't charge me, leave me alone. So it's things like that that really have to be worked out, because it sounds simple, but it's not as simple as people think. So those are big deals. But anyway, let's get to this sucky market, because Russia's doing their dumb stuff, with going up against, saying, oh, we're not going to invade, but meanwhile building up their military might around the borders of Ukraine. So it's gonna happen. The question is how the world is going to react. And right now, they're just taking the time and screwing up the markets. So let's take a look at what's really going on. Clearly, right now, we've got losers beating winners in a major fashion. I mean, look at this. It's bad when you're winners, when you consider negative 0.05% as a winner. Clearly, losers are beating winners today. And, they're just getting hammered to all hell, right? So that's fine. It happens. You have swings like this. So I'm not gonna totally stress about it, but you can see what's going on. I do want it, like we do every day. We just want to take a look and see, if I was in the market, Cadena, that would be a buy. Filecoin, I think that would be a buy. If I was in the market, I'm not right now. I'm kind of just chilling. UFO gaming, I think obviously I'm big on UFO gaming. That to me is a buy. I'm actually considering that. Looking at the price point right now. Look at all those zeros. You could buy in right now, wait a year, and then you'd see them pop up most likely. So that's what's going through my head at the moment. Um, I mean, heck, they're down 14% today. Maybe I put in $100 and it pops up 20% tomorrow. That would be something. So these are things that I'm paying attention to. Anyway, the fear and greed index is basically neutral at 52%. wow. I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying, that's awesome. It really is. When I look at that, that's really awesome. That means the issues that people are having right now, or the reverse in crypto right now, is not because of crypto. It's because of macro events. A micro event would be something that's affecting a specific set of cryptos or a single crypto. A macro event, such as Russia invading Ukraine, would be considered a macro event and has huge impacts across the globe. So that's what I'm looking at. So crypto itself, people are not having a fear about crypto itself, but it's a hugely red day in in the crypto space. Big red. I mean, basically, you're seeing things like this. Things that are tied to the dollar. Stable coins that are basically okay because they're tied to the dollar. But everything else, deep red, deep red. I mean, what Atom and a couple of guys over here, neutral. Those are probably smaller stable coins. But this is hard. You're looking at BTC. BTC, I believe, let's go look. I thought it went below 40,000. I'm pretty sure it went below 40,000 today. It hit 39.9 something today. And there it is. Oh no. So 40,000. Let's do 24 hours. It'd be a lot easier to get there. So it's hit 40, it's hit, there you go, as low as 244. So that's big. That's a big swing. But it dropped past the floor that it was at, which was, I think the floor was set at 42.7, something around there. So it's below that number, but it's still at a good number. It's still in the 40s. I'm hoping it stays in the 40s, maintains 40,000 as the floor, and then we see some kind of pop back up tomorrow. If not, could you be looking at, Bitcoin dropping down to 38 again? I think highly possible. 35, highly possible. If it busts through that $40,000 floor in my head, I think that you could hit those numbers again. But again, to me, that would be buying season. Seriously, would be buying season to me. So that's where we are. Again, do your research. Don't just do the research on the coins themselves. And one day in one of these videos, we'll actually pick a coin that I'm interested in and walk through doing some research on that coin. Anyway, do your research. Don't pay attention just to the coin. Pay attention to the space that the coin is trying to fill, the idea of the coin, the community of the coin, but also look at these macro events. If you notice, my videos try to give you information on macro events that could affect whatever's going on with the coin, right? So, I'll be up late just looking at the news, scrolling through the news to see what kind of a macro event is happening, because I know now at that moment I can act on crypto. Can't act on stocks, but I can act on crypto to see if that's going to have a positive or negative influence in the cryptocurrency space. All right. And we also have to, in a future video, we're also going to have to get into how to protect yourself with NFTs, because I reported yesterday that PayPal was going to disqualify transactions in terms of seller protection for transactions that are over $10,000 for NFTs. So that's something else that we want to do. If you have questions, do me a favor, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get notifications so that you know when I'm dropping a new video. And if you have questions, feel free to enter them down below. I would love to have me and my team go do some research and answer your question. All right. Hope you have a great day. This is Eddie J on Crypto. Bye-bye.